Today is the third day. Nobody showed up. Next door neighbors are out there with their bikes and all that again. And windows like yesterday are all open.
We gather to celebrate a life of relentless
They're supposed to be sending somebody over here. Hopefully it's a professional. Somebody's licensed to do the septic or whatever. But I'm having to wash in the sink because this thing's still filling up with water. And I figured it out to be the water thing, the drinking water, filling up the sink after the tank's pressurized. The problem with it though is that when you turn off the valve over there in the back right there, it doesn't turn off. It doesn't turn off the darn water source. Up and down or side to side like that, it still flows. So I can get down here and turn it to supposedly off. And it still goes. And so does this. So, and that sticks. So the only thing I can figure, and that's how they get the water here. It's the hot water going to the washing machine, I guess.
Giving your kid a healthy smile. Imagine helping their teeth become 4 times stronger.
And this is the cold. As you see, either way, does not turn off the water. Which doesn't make any sense. Well, either way, it wouldn't turn off the water. Or if that's hot, that's cold. Yeah, go back down here again and turn it lefty-loosey, which should be the through, I would think, because it won't go any further. Nope. It still gets water. So there's no way to turn off the water down here on either one of these taps with that type of valve on there for some reason. So there's no way to turn off this water on the right side to the cold tap to stop the water from pressurizing into the system and going through this thing, which feeds the excess water after it's pressurized back into the drain here, which fills up the pipe because it's clogged beyond there and has to be fished, I guess, at that nut down there with a 50-footer, which I don't have. And that's what has to be done, or else you have to turn off the water outside. So I've explained this to the owner. Says he sent somebody over yesterday. Nobody ever showed. Neighbors didn't even get talked to or anything. And the garbage can trail going through the gravel is still there and not ran over or anything by a vehicle coming into the driveway. So either he's lying, which I believe is a fact, or the guy never showed up and went to one of his other properties. He has about 3 or 4 of them. From what I understand, actually, I think 3 or 4 properties he rents. Then the house he lives in with the pool. But this is the floor we were talking about. It's had damage since the day we moved in. Before we even moved in, we took pictures of, but you can see the high-low spot there on the edges. And that's throughout the house. Always has been. But as long as the sink's not able to be turned off, and this drain never plugs, this system will fill up the sinks and flow over the sink top and onto the floors. And as I discovered, 5 a.m. in the morning, the sinks are full by that time. So from midnight to 5 a.m., the sinks get full. That's usual time everybody goes to bed. And normal people with a job and all usually wake up 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. And we discovered worse than what I found, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. The first day, my son woke up at 5, found water on the floor, on the edge of the floor here in the front of the sink, and the refrigerator and the thing there. And we were like, what the hell? That's when we discovered the sink was clogged, and we didn't know why it was backing up. Now, the next day, I woke up at 5:30, and just in time, the water just barely got above the sink and just to this edge right over here on each side of the sink. So I was able to throw down a towel and catch it and bail out the sinks in time before it again happened. And I suspect that's why the floor was damaged when we first moved in. That's why we found the floor was all damaged, and he was talking about the floor being damaged from flood. And more than likely it was because the drain was slow and stopped up finally, like this one did, and did exactly what it did to us, but they didn't wake up in time before they put another 2 gallons from the sink onto the floor that would have covered the whole floor all the way across. 2 gallons on the flat floor would have covered that distance, or at least quite a ways up underneath the floor anyway. And it looks like he didn't replace all of the tiles either, or this happened again after he did this or something, I don't know what. But yeah, the stove doesn't even work. I've complained about the stove ever since we moved here. So we just use it for storing pots and all. And I think they explained this once before, and that's his dryer. Our dryer's out in his garage, but his washer didn't work, and it's out in this garage. Ours is in there right now. We'll be taking that when we move, for sure, along with our refrigerator. But right now, this is the way I'm having to wash dishes on Saturday, waiting for his stupid ass to send somebody over. Hopefully with a license, because I come to realize that he's supposed to have put deadbolts on these doors already for it to be a rental unit, and there's not one deadbolt on this door. And he had mentioned to me that I might want to put deadbolts on these doors to lock up the garage. Well, the garage has a metal door, which he didn't think did, but there's none on this one either. And there's no latch or anything for protection. So, and that's why I sleep with a knife. That's why we both sleep with a knife. But I don't think anybody's crazy enough to come in here. But you never know. They got guns and we don't, so yeah, it could happen. So it's a little dangerous, scary. Plus the smells in the tub that we don't use, in the toilet we don't use back here. We have to keep it clogged up because the smell is just horrendous sometimes, especially in the summertime. It still comes up through that little vent, but not as bad as having that undone. But if that's undone, oh my God, it's like a sewage pit in here. And it reeks through the house. And through that AC vent right there. It comes up to the other bedrooms when the AC goes off. But, yeah, these. And then, of course, my fire alarm, not his, in that open box there. There's another electrical box over there. It's been open since day one. Which he's not done anything about. And I have no idea what it's for. But there it is. I think it's supposed to be a couple of plugs there. But I'm not an electrician, so, I'm not fucking with it. It's not my job. And here's the screwed up bathroom. You have to fuck with to get the shower working. Of course, it's got holes that go into the back of the wall here. Or, I mean, not holes, but that's the gasket. It just looks nasty, I guess. And there's no stop or anything for this tub. So, but thank God, I guess this one has a drip loop, or a drip loop, so it doesn't let the stink in here. Like the sinks have a little, I don't know what he called it. P-trap is what he called it. It's not a P-trap, where I don't know what it, I don't think it's called a P-trap, but who knows, maybe it is, I don't know. There's a little curve in the pipe to keep the water there, to keep the air from coming from the septics into the house. Obviously the other tub doesn't have one on it. This one obviously does. He needs to get one on that. No railings on here at all. I fell a few times in this fucking bathroom because of that. But yeah, there's no railings in here at all. So, yep. So anyway, this is. We kept the place pretty neat, I think. Best as possible. We even had to vacuum out the AC vents. They had so much garbage in them. Anyway, this is just a documentary of day 3 of a request for a plumber to come and plumb the pipe underneath the house from this sink's bottom opening, or if there's one outside, to be snaked professionally. And since we don't have locks and all on the windows and doors and stuff, he can't send over just any old body. It's got to be a licensed person, I would think, or himself. I just show up as the rules say. If he wants to play by the book, that's by the book, I think. Anyway, that's it for now.